Alright, well, chaos is all well and good, but it's no way to keep the trains running on time. So I need to do something that's a little bit more deliberate. I forget exactly where it was, but I certainly have observed it in this little arrangement here, that an empty cart travels at a different rate than one with a person in it. And oh my goodness, you can go to the wiki and see all the math. I don't need no stinking math. But I'd like to see if I can use that so that I can have two consecutive detector rails that then do something, trigger something. I was inspired actually in more ways than one by a video I just saw from user TaviRider, TaviRider, which I'll include in a link. Really cool stuff, including a sort of a dissection of the various attributes of powered rails and stuff. Definitely take a look. And he's got this really cool minecart station that's just really cool. And it uses a way of dispensing carts. He credits it to somebody else, a really compact way that's, you know, it's similar in concept to this whole sort of slanted unpowered rail. So he wanted to make it, well, he had really high standards there, and I think he met them pretty well. The one thing that's different than what I'm trying to do is that one is like a call and response type station. You press a button, or you press a button, or you just get into a cart and then choose your destination. So I'm trying to get something where there's carts moving at all times, and so you can approach the track and then just grab the cart depending on what direction you want to go. So what I did to try this out is I have a loop. There's still stuff to junk down there, and the chaos system is still back over there, but this is just a loop for right now. And here's my first actual Redstone circuit thing. Again, Redstone being something that I barely can comprehend. This is an AND circuit, and that's another sort of concept that I can also sort of barely comprehend. An AND circuit means that the output doesn't become active unless this is lit up, unless this is lit up and this is lit up. The word AND is in the middle. So if this and that at the same time, then this lights up. So what I'm going to try to do here is time it in such a way that it comes around and it changes the direction of this this curve. Boy, this whole thing about getting curves to change in different directions, that's also really confusing and trial by error. I actually was trying to do this over at this end, and anyway, long story short, I moved it to this end because I just couldn't figure out what was going on. But ultimately, the idea is that there will be switches for going in one direction and switches for going in another. That's kind of what I'm thinking, is that there will be a series of these loops, one right next to another, end to end, and depending on which one you get, what direction you're going, the track will open up and let you out onto the long extended track. At least that's, you know, I haven't mapped this out yet, but that's kind of what I was thinking. So anyway, just to show how the AND thing works, let me get a cart. All right, so this mess. I was experimenting with this. Let's fix this so that there's no confusion. All right. See, launching that will make it go backwards. So that was the last thing I was trying to figure out. So here we go. All right. So obviously on the detector plate, it runs over this detector and it goes live. It runs over this one, it goes live. And for that brief instant where they're both lit up, this torch here lights up. Just for a second. Long enough to send power down here. I've delayed it with one diode here at its fullest position. So it actually takes a second to get through this thing. and then right at the last at the end of the line here, it triggers this to change direction. So what's happening as it goes by is it goes by slowly, and for just a second this thing turns, but it turns back before the cart has a chance to go over it. And so if I get in it, I start going faster, and this time I actually make it. So that's the idea, is if I can do that, it can recognize when I'm on the track, then a few things can happen. One is it sends me on my way, and then, you know, at this point this track will bend around and go over to wherever it needs to go. I guess this is when the track is at the end, it doesn't matter, but the ones that are in the middle, I want it to be able to be bidirectional, so that if you get on it on this side and the pressure, the detector rails that are over here on this side, hopefully that will send you in that direction. But I just have to make sure that these curves can cooperate. So the other thing that will happen is that this loop now is missing a cart. And so what I was thinking is that I would somehow, early in this track here, on this section, and then the corresponding one at the other end, I'd have another detector that somewhere sends a signal behind the scenes back over this way somewhere and says, hey, there's a track missing from this loop. And behind the scenes, and I haven't even begun to think about this, there will be a dispenser of some kind, perhaps just like the one that TaviRider has in his video. You should check that out. He's got 10 carts just sitting there poised, ready to go at a moment's notice, and he uses a particular, oh gosh, what is it? It's an XNOR gate or something. Anyway, there's a circuit that basically does fancy things, like it checks to see if a dispenser slot is empty or not, and I don't know, I have a feeling that's probably going to be the way to go if I can get through the complication of these redstone circuits, because like I said, they just confuse me. I don't know. I'll probably stop saying that, because that's probably going to get annoying, because believe me, I don't know what I'm doing. I guess, you know, the main thing I want to emphasize here is that I'm kind of making this up as I go, so I appreciate your patience and tolerance, and hopefully I can keep the video moving along briskly without too much of tediousness. But I don't know, part of it is figuring it out. I don't want it all laid out. I don't want to copy and paste and world edit entire functioning train stations. I want to cobble something together. So anyway, this seems like this might be tenable. I've said that before though, huh? But no, I mean, it's interesting how you go away for a while and think, and you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden you've got some wacky idea. But yeah, so this is the current wackiness, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff I can play with. The timing, either, you know, the timing of this relay or relay. I forget that they break very easy. You know, just ways to ensure that the cart doesn't go off where it's supposed to go, because that is one of the chaos systems problems, is doing that. By the way, one thing that I could do is, I suppose I could have a I could depend on the speed of the cart with the person in it. I could eliminate this AND gate altogether and just have a pressure plate that goes down and has some delays to this, and then just depend on the speed to get there before it switches back. I suppose that's a way also to do that, and of course that's much simpler because it doesn't have all this stuff. In other words, it's something like this. Only probably I have to probably move it closer. See, it has a chance to get there. Let's move it here. That might be too close. Yeah, that's a little too close, but this is just, let's see, that's fully delayed out. I could add another another diode. What do they call these things? They're diodes, right? Diodes, repeaters, diodes. They are repeaters that are diodes. All right, so let's see if this timing works out better. Basically, if it's going too slow, it won't make that junction. Oh, well, that's not good. It going in a different order. Yeah, that's a little hinky. Actually, I'll go ahead and put another thing in here. This will delay it just a bit more. Wait, do I want it to delay? No, I want to... no, I want it to happen sooner is what I want. I want it to happen... Right, so it... Yeah, actually, I kind of want it here. Let's get rid of some of this. TaviRider has a great breakdown of optimum spacing of powered rails and diminishing returns on how well it works, depending on how far apart they are, and there's just a lot of good info there. It's also found in other places, I think, but he does a really great job of laying that out, so I definitely recommend you check it out. And I mention that because the spacing of these are like, there's 5 in between here, and you know, there's 4 here. So I'll come up with some sort of spacing that is regular and dependable, so that they all kind of look like they're moving at the same time or at the same rate. And I'll play around with that. But for right now, this is just a way of experimenting with this. Let's see if it misses the boat here. Go back. There we go. Okay. So now it's going too slow to make it. Now, obviously, this is much simpler. And I guess if I'm in it, it lets me out. But how reliable is this really? That's the question. How reliable it is? Is it? I do like the simplicity, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know where I'm going to put all these AND gates and stuff. And as it is, I have other things that I want to do. Like, for example, as I mentioned, this will have its own detector. And it's going to go over here and do, I don't know, something. And it's going to, actually, I know what it's going to do. It's going to drop a cart from wherever it needs to come, and it's going to drop it right onto here. It'll probably do something like come out this way. And curve around this way. And no, can't put that there, but you get the idea. It's gonna deliver a cart here. Rapid prototyping. Duh. Yeah, something like this. So I think this will work. Push this, it gets on the track. Oh, it's not moving though. How do I get it to move? Maybe I move the whole thing over. Get it to land on a powered rail. But see, this is the kind of thing I end up doing, and I have this idea and say, oh, let me try it, and then it doesn't quite come to pass. Come on. Nope. Maybe this one should be powered. Let's getting all complicated already. Let's see here. Will that launch it? Maybe that'll launch it. Do 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 do. Push. All right. That's the idea. Need to help it along here at this particular juncture. So like maybe right here. I'll put another one of these. All right. Push. There we go. And then we're back in business. So that's what's going to happen is the moment... What happened here? What? Oh, there was something in the track. Okay. Ooh, right in the nick of time. It makes me a little nervous because I don't know how reliable this is. It goes without saying, by the way, that this is like an not an SMP, but a SSP, single player type system, because I'm making no allowance for other people getting on the track and stuff like that. So it's really just for my own use here. But I guess as long as I catch it before this powered rail right here, I should be okay. Let's see if that's true. Yeah. Well, I like the simplicity of that. I don't mind that. This well, hold on. Maybe I can do this real quick. Let's see. I'm kind of making a mess of my my world here, but let's pretend for a moment that this is like this, and this goes, let me turn this off. This goes up, up. That should work, right? Let's test. Boom. Wait, where are you going? Don't go. Don't go. Boom. Yep. Okay. So here's the idea then. Take this, load this card. Now back here, this behind the scenes, this is going to be this crazy dispenser thing. Non-Pez, fully legit dispenser doodad. Probably using some exotic redstone circuit that I've never even thought of using. And I'm scooting along and I say, I want to go that way. And this takes me that way. And this cart loads itself. Huh? That's promising. It's right back where it was. Now, once I'm done with this card at my end, once I get to the destination, then I need to, I don't know what to do exactly. I'll probably like approach the end of the line or wherever it is that I want to go, and the card itself will go back and circle around to some sort of collection area that will be used to refill this dispenser. So that's the current plan. Give me a call when it's done, huh? No. Well, we'll figure it out. But anyway, this way, I can, no matter, even if I'm in the middle here, I can walk over to the nearest loop and hopefully get to where I need to go without waiting too terribly long. Oops, I bounced. Oh, I bounced off the other cart. No doubling up of carts, no tripling up of carts. Everyone is on their own loop. They won't bump into each other. And since it's a single player type thing, the only one that's going to be on this business track right here is me all by myself. And yeah, I think that's going to work for now.